Selena.
It's a vibe, baby. Oak Cliff girl, can't make you change my world. Damn, you're so fine, girl. Oak Cliff girl, put them heels on and rule my
Welcome
world.
to Selena's Couch, where you are welcome to be free to be yourself. So you can lay your head on my couch, on my pillows.
It's all good, we can do whatever we wanna do now. I'm in my bag right now, and I got a feeling, babe, yeah. You're gonna be my number one lover. Spend the night making love to each other, with the lights on top of the covers. Just me and you, babe. And I feel like you're my
Love you to Reese's Pieces.
Get you a word. Nana nana boo boo.
Look, I already got 18 people. I wonder who they are. Hey, El Boogie, how are you? I wanted to tell you I loved your song. I'm gonna have to also go to your channel and review some of your music. I heard it the other day. Keep doing what you're doing. You're actually really talented. I'm gonna play probably one of your songs probably about at the end of my live. I'm gonna be talking about what's going on in the world today. It might not interest some of you guys because some people are just into other things. But I'm definitely going to talk about this because a lot of people have not talked about what was going on with I would say the persecution over there in Nigeria. If you guys have not heard of it, a lot of Nigerians are being persecuted for their faith. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that. I'm also going to talk about the entertainment business and the music industry and all of that. And we're going to go into that. But at the end, I would like to play El Boogie's. I would like to play. Hey, Miss Chicago. Hey, Ryan. Hey, Jaden. Hey, Cece. Miss Collins. Miss Collins in the house. Life with Tashana. King Stoner. How are you? Thank you so much for coming through, and happy Father's Day to all of my fathers. And I'm talking to my true supporters, those who really come to listen to my content and enjoy it. Happy Father's Day. And I'm definitely going to put that on my community wall for my supporters, the people that I really mess with. Hey, TLJ. Hey, Don. How are you? Good to see you. Riders, good to see you. I saw you in the other chat, the Las Vegas chat. It's good to see you. Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, Gerald. Happy Father's Day, El Boogie. Make sure you put your link in the chat, El Boogie, so people can check out your music. Writers, you can put your channel in the chat as well. Gerald, I hope that you have a happy Father's Day as well. And let's show our fathers some love. They always focus on the mothers. What about the fathers? Miss Chicago, beautiful. I enjoyed you so much, girl. I'm going to have you on my sister circle one day when you're not busy. I want you up here. You have a lot of great insight and you funny. And you just straight up hood, but I love it. I would love for you to come up on my platform. And actually, I'm going to put the link in the chat. So if anybody would like to come up and discuss some of this stuff, take Chicky D. You multitasking. But happy Father's Day to my lovely supporters. I really appreciate you guys. But Miss Chicago, when you ever get a chance and you're not busy, whenever I have or any open panel or the sister circle, I would love for you to come up and give me your perspective on what you see and things like that. So shout out to Miss Chicago. I love it. But yeah, El Boogie, put your link in the chat so people can sub up to you. Like I said, this guy's talented, And tell Jay I finally got your name right. I want to talk a little bit about this, about the music industry. So yeah, and Miss Chicago, we had a sister circle. I think it was like a month ago, and you would have been perfect for it. Miss Yo Thoughts came up, and I think Mr. Kimi came up, but you would have been perfect. I want to share a little bit of this with you. I also want to talk about Nola. I think it's Nola Dickens. She was I forgot how old she was, but she was a young girl. I think a toddler, and her own mother unalived her. And then I believe she was put in a suitcase. So we're gonna talk about that. So this is what's going on in the world today, and I got the link in the chat. So if anybody would like to come up, you're more than welcome.
Literally signing a contract and selling our souls. They got contracts out there that say you can't say Jesus. When we was working on this album, people used to be coming over the studio just to say Jesus as loud.
And this is under fair use. Now we know that Kanye West is a wild card, honey. Kanye West is one of those people he kind of strange. But when he was trying to do his Christian music or whatever, he was really speaking on a lot of what the music industry is against. And it's mighty funny that a lot of these, I would say, entertainment business, if you're in the entertainment business in any type of way, it seems to me that anybody that say, believes in Christianity, or they say they are a believer or anything like that, or any, I'm not going to say all religions, but especially this religion or spirituality, people really do not want to hear none of that. And so, and they tell you in some of these, I would say some of these producers and music, these label, they'll tell you, we don't want you to talk about Jesus. We don't want you to talk about Christianity. They don't want you to talk about any of that. But I'm gonna say this. I personally haven't seen in other countries, other religions being persecuted like some of the Christian groups. I don't know why. I have an idea, but it's kind of like, why is it that they don't focus on the other religions? They only focus on Christianity. That's pretty interesting. So I'm showing a little clip of Kanye West, and he's talking to his audience and telling them exactly what some of these music executives, what they don't want. And we see a lot of these musical artists, they start out in the church, then they decide, hey, the money's not there, and then they start compromising and doing all kinds of things, going to the Diddy parties, and God knows what they be doing at them Diddy parties. But I'm gonna play a little bit of that, and then I'm gonna go to something else. I just want to talk about, and if you look at the title is self-explanatory. The title is Demonic People Do Demonic Things. So that speaks volumes right there.
As they wanted to.
Disguising these policies behind the words Tennessee Christian values. Those aren't Tennessee Christian values. I live in Tennessee. I am a Christian. That's not what we stand for.
She's seen chugging a beer at the Super Bowl on live TV. She is friends with a secular rapper who is wearing an inverted cross, mocking Jesus Christ, and showing satanic hand signs. She also supports the LGBTQ community and creates music that is explicitly satanic and sexual.
You literally almost signed to Polo G's record label.
I heard millions in it. I was just planning on going there and signing it. I'm with one of my old cameramen at the time.
And were you in the world this time?
Yeah, I was in the world. Yeah, this is secular music. It's not.
This is fair use, under fair use.
Not even Christian music. Not even a thought about Christian. I'm there. I'm looking through the deal. I'm just skimming through it. So then my homeboy grabbed it. He like, oh, let me Bro, let's look real quick, bro. Keep the page with him, bro. He like, stop. You didn't read this? I said,
Read
read
what? L Boogie, if you would like to come up, you're more than welcome. I put the link in the chat. That's pretty interesting. What do you think what do you think he had to sign? He couldn't say a certain name. And I think that's weird. Now, this is on it's DD, let's see, because I just subbed up to him not too long ago. DD got a podcast, so that's who I'm going over today. I'm not gonna do a lot on his commentary, but I did want to talk about some of the
Literally signing the contract.
Let me go back and I'm gonna fast forward a little bit.
I had a meeting with this dude in the office. I forget his name, but it was like an office meeting, and I didn't know nothing about it. I was just planning on going there and signing it. Like, that's why I didn't. They said something. They said $1 million. I heard millions in it. I heard the million word, and I just heard money. I was just gonna go do it. That's it. I think it was like two to something million, and the money was kind of crazy because I was like, I ain't even really been doing nothing for real. Like, the music wise, like I made some cool songs, but I didn't even think my worth was that. I'm like, dang, I'm worth that much. They finna give me this. So off the rip, like, we get there, and I don't care. I'm just ready to sign. But I'm with one of my old cameraman at the time. The dude I used to shoot my videos back then.
And were you in the world this time?
Yeah, I was in the world. Yeah. This is secular music. It's not even Christian music. Not even a thought about Christian. So I'm there, and I'm looking at through the deal. I'm just skimming through it. I'm like.
So what y'all think was said? What do y'all think was said? It's a 360 deal to get the rights of their likeness. So was that the deals that like Michael Jackson, Prince, Whitney Houston, did they have a 360 deal? Because I've heard about the 360 deal and how a lot of people be wanting they be wanting their masters of their music. And it seems like once they want to own the masters of their music, to me, it seems like something happens to them. Either most of the time they're unalive or there's some type of scandal that happens, like with Tory Lanez. I believe he also wanted his masters as well, or he had some type of situation with the record label. And then shortly after this, the thing happened with him and Meg Thee Stallion and her friend, and he was sent to prison for I think 2 years.
I'm not even caring. I'm trying to where the dotted lines at so I can sign. That's what I'm trying to figure out. So then my homeboy grabbed it. He like, hold on, let me just, before you sign, bro, let me just look through it real quick, bro. Bro, he like, it's like he knew where the page was or something. He was just flipping, bro. He like, stop. He was like, bro, you didn't read this? I said, read what? The Bible, the thing said you could not say literally in verbatim, it said you could not say the name Jesus. It didn't say God. Wow. It said you cannot say the name Jesus. I forgot what else it said, but it said like or else. Like it was like a threat in there or something. But they'll basically say like they know who your family, where they live at. They know who your family is. It's stuff that's in those like dotted lines that we will not read, but it's literally them saying like in my terminology, if you say the name Jesus, you're gonna die, or something gonna happen to you.
It's like
what? If you say the name Jesus. Now, this is a record label. They just supposed to be worried about music and, the hip hop music. Why are they worried about somebody saying the name Jesus in their music? What do y'all think to DMX? DMX was one of my favorite artists. I like DMX. I like his rawness. He didn't care, but he was also highly intelligent. Why do you think that what happened to DMX and all the money that the record label stole from him? I think he pretty much died broke. But he was always, even when he would start to talk about Jesus and stuff like that, it was always something that happened to him. They would say, "Oh, he's drunk," and they put him in jail. I remember when he was in jail in Arizona. And he was talking, now DMX was different. I don't know, but he was saying that he had a conversation with the devil. And the devil was offering him. Now, I don't know if this was a dream or this was actually something physical. But I'm thinking to myself, shortly after that, DMX, when he had left Arizona, and I think he came back to New York. He went back to New York. And then after that, it just seemed like he wasn't the same. Hey, Godspace. It's like he wasn't the same. What do you think happened to these people? Miss Chicago said majority of the time, the fine print all the way at the bottom, no one never reads that. That's where the truth is, those very small words. And that's what this guy is saying. That's what this guy is saying. Happy Father's Day, God Space. G Space.
God always intervenes, bro. When it comes to you, bro, it's like,
I don't even know.
Bro, that was God intervention with a normal dude, not even in Christ.
Not in Christ at all.
I know why. It's because you're pure-hearted, bro.
Literally.
Wow.
I just
The pure-hearted will see God.
Amen. Literally.
If you all remember a couple of months ago or so, the video I made about the woman who claims to know somebody whose boyfriend from Atlanta sold his soul to the devil, whatever. In that video, towards the end, I was trying to guess who the rapper was. And one of the potential people I threw out there was Playboy Cardi. And in the video, the lady said that she couldn't understand why her boyfriend was choosing to do all of these rituals to try to be able to make it in the music industry because he was talented without these people that he had met in Los Angeles. She said she was trying to convince him, like, baby, you don't have to do these chants anymore. You don't have to do these rituals anymore. You don't have to do this stuff. It's changing you. Just work hard and you'll be able to make it like that. And I said in that video, if he wants to make it in the music industry, yes, he does have to do those things. Absolutely. But I never actually considered that it was in the contract that it specifically told you, do not talk about certain things. And so really what it comes down to is this true? Right? Like, is this something that actually happens? Is it some artists? Is it most artists? Because we even hear the rumors that most of these, especially these drill artists, have life insurances that comes with their contract, and a lot of these artists don't even know it. Again, can we confirm that to be true or not true? I don't exactly know, but this is what I can tell you. Kanye West actually came into the industry saying Jesus Christ's name. Jesus walks. Kanye West, once again.
Hey, D.
Has made an entire album with Jesus' name on it, right? Saying Jesus' name.
Y'all remember that when hey Dee, when Kanye West did this live, not this live, but he started trying to change his life before he got weird again. And he did that album, Jesus is Lord. And that's when he started to really tell what was going on behind the scenes in the music industry and how the music industry really kind of restricts you in a lot of different ways. And it's always in the name of Jesus. It's never Muhammad. And, and I like to respect other people's belief, Confucius, Buddha. It's never any of the other gods or the prophets. So it's kind of amazing to me how this name seems to be, I would say, they don't want you to say it. Like, you if you say this, if you go against this contract, then something is going to happen to you. It may not be your life. It may be they might do something and put it on you, and you're like, I didn't do that. Like some of these artists that get caught up in these situations, and it's like a scandal all of a sudden. You and the person is saying, I didn't do what these people are saying I'm doing. And then it's on the news. It's on the news. People are looking at it online. These people are sometimes set up, and some of this stuff they did not do. And people will set you up, especially if you have a group of people that have in mind they want to set you up, and so this is why some of these actors and people in the music industry sometimes get in these scandals. Sometimes these scandals are not of their own. It's because they're either going against the grain. Anytime you're going against the grain, like Kanye West, we all know Kanye West is a little different, maybe a lot different. But I believe some of the things that people tried to make him come off like he was crazy, he actually knew what he was talking about. So let me keep going. And fair use.
Album. And as we know, Kanye West is one of the biggest artists in the world. So if you want to control the masses, are able to do it. So does this prove the fact that Kanye West has done it, that either this artist was lying when he said that this happened to him, or maybe it just happened to some artists and not others? I personally believe this doesn't prove anything, because Kanye West himself has come out and said, listen, they have contracts where they tell people you cannot say the name Jesus.
The devil took all the producers, the musicians, the designers, moved us all out to Hollywood, moved us all out to New York, chasing ghost statues, literally signing a contract and selling our souls. They got contracts out there that say you can't say Jesus. When we was working on this album, people used to be coming over the studio just to say Jesus as loud as they wanted to.
But not only that, when you look at the
Do
grand
y'all
scheme,
believe Kanye West? Do y'all think that Kanye West is a liar? But this is not the only person that said this. The young man, the other rapper that I showed you, just said the same thing. So, do y'all think Kanye West is lying? Do y'all think that these music executives, are they such against the name Jesus or Christianity or people that are believers that they don't want any of that to be said in their music? They want you to stay far away from that. If you making this much money, these millions of dollars, you cannot say the name Jesus. That's weird to me, isn't it? That is weird to me. But hey, some people may not think that way. It's pretty strange to me that you cannot say the name Jesus. That's pretty strange. Let me fast forward a little bit.
You are not going to believe all of these celebrities are mocking Jesus. Watch.
Madonna on the cross. P. Diddy on the cross. Nas on the cross. DaBaby on the cross. Lil Dicky on the cross. Tupac on the cross. Lady Gaga with a nun outfit on that has an upside down cross. Katy Perry acting like she's burning in flames with a demon behind her with a cross on her chest.
Notice it's never any other religion.
and like he said in the clip, you notice that they don't do this with anybody else. No other religion. You think they will be able to go on national television and do everything that they just did with Jesus about Muhammad when it comes to the Muslim faith? Do you think
do you guys think that? Do you think that Muslims, I wish Hassan was in the chat if he could come up. Do you think, are Muslims persecuted in their country? The only religion that I hear of that is persecuted for their beliefs are people that believe in Christianity. Now, that's from my understanding. I could be wrong. Now, I'm not saying in the past that Muslims, people that were, now I'm going to say, I don't know, it's probably AD. This is after the death of Christ, where there were people that were part of the maybe Catholic or Protestant church that maybe, I believe, now correct me if I'm wrong, if people know about history, that did persecute some of the Muslims in their countries, I believe. But this was back like in the Queen Elizabeth, a little bit before Queen Elizabeth, the first Queen Elizabeth. I have to go back into my history, but I believe that was probably a time where there were some people that were under the so-called Christian belief that were either Protestants or Catholics at the time, were persecuting other people in their religion. So I'm going to kind of go back over that and research that a little bit more before I speak too much on it. But from my understanding, what I have understood, and in the past, I would say in the maybe after the Renaissance, I've heard more. No, not even after. I would say back in biblical times, where Paul was preaching and he was going around telling different, the different churches in Asia and even in Jerusalem about his belief, because he was against the Christians at first. And I remember around from reading in the biblical times when Paul was preaching, some of the Christians, even before Paul started preaching, because he was I think he was either a Pharisee or a Sadducee, and he would persecute the Christians then because he was a Jew. He would persecute the Christians, and they would put them in coliseums where they had the gladiators in, and the Christians, that they would put them in there with lions, and they were torn apart. Their bodies were torn apart by lions, and that was around in the biblical times. And then, like I said, in the Renaissance times, I believe then the Christian, the people that were, I guess, a part of the Christian church, Protestant Catholics, started persecuting as well. Some, Muslims and, other beliefs, I believe. But like I said, don't quote me on that, because like I said, I'm kind of trying to remember everything in my mind. But there has been persecution probably on both sides, but I'm just going to say I've always heard more of people being persecuted that have the Christian belief.
And be able to get away with that. So why is it okay? Why do they feel so comfortable with doing this when it comes to Christianity? Why? And I'm going to go his YouTube channel. Been following him.
Now, he used to be a former warlock. This Richard, I think is Lozano. I can't pronounce. That's I think he's Puerto Rican. Junior. He used to be a warlock, so he used to practice witchcraft. That's basically a warlock is a male witch. So he also practiced in Santeria, and then he became a believer in Christ and started telling other people about what he used to do in Santeria. Do y'all remember Dominic Marrow? They used to come on my platform. Brother Dominic also was into Santeria as well. And he was talking about some of the magic and stuff that they practice to get certain things done. And they do that in the music industry as well. A lot of these people practice witchcraft to make their and this is so weird to make their album sell. It's just a lot of weird stuff these people be doing behind these, this entertainment and Hollywood and all of this. It's just weird.
For a while. So man, if you see this, love the work that you're doing. God bless you. I'll include the link to the full video in the description below. But I want to make sure that I state something about Christian rappers. I checked out this guy, Kaijin Boone. He makes some good music in the sense that, yeah, no fluke. He really talks about Jesus. He's really trying to encourage people to follow Jesus. And it's a beautiful thing to watch.
So if you're not into that, that's fine. But he does talk a lot about the what goes behind in the music industry. He even has a video about Diddy's former artist cries exposing the Illuminati experience. And so these are people that actually worked with Diddy. He has other videos, like if you're into the music and you want to know what some of these people are doing, this is guy, he's really good with doing a lot of his research. And says DD got a podcast, so you guys check him out. And I might do another live on him. And again, this live, what you say, you said the Romans collected lions. I wondered how the Romans collected lions. Yeah, because if some lions in the from Africa, like I didn't know it was some lions over there in Rome, but they did have lions. They also sawed into some of the Christians. Again, this was back in Paul's time. Even other Jews would kind of persecute or unalive other Christians back then. So this is some real stuff. And again, my title is Demonic People Do Demonic Things. So a lot of the time, some people don't think that they are demonic, but they are. And you have to really have, I would say, a mind of what's right, what's wrong. And some people know what they're doing is wrong, but they continue to do it anyway. So that shows you the type of world we live. Like this mother right here. This mother took her own child's life. And I'm starting to see a lot of these parents, especially some of the mothers and fathers. And this is really heartbreaking because this is around, it's around Father's weekend, and a lot of these fathers are not being there for their daughters or their sons, and they sometimes are left with a single mother. And this single mother right here is mentally unstable. There's some great single mothers that take care of their children. There's some great single mothers doing the very best they can to make ends meet. I'm not talking about them mothers. I'm not talking about the fathers that work 2 jobs to take care of their children. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about people that leave their children with unstable parents, mentally unstable parents. And this young lady, her name is Nola, and this happened in Philly. She was 3 years old, and her mother did something really horrendous. And the mother was living with her boyfriend, and what she did to her own flesh and blood is just so baffling to me. Again, this live is about demonic people doing demonic things. I'm going to share this with you guys.
Disturbing new details tonight in connection with a 3-year-old girl's reported disappearance in Newcastle County, Delaware. Her mother is now charged in connection with her death. This is the news at 6. I'm Sheba Russell.
And I'm Jason Martinez. Investigators say the mother of Nola Dinkins not only lied about the little girl's abduction, but according to court documents, she allegedly told investigators that she beat her daughter to death. Her boyfriend.
So this is under fair use. What would make a mother beat her 3-year-old daughter to death? What would make a mother do that? Is it just psychosis? Like, do you think it's all mental, or do you think it's something spiritual or mental, or or both? Like, what would make you so angry? Now, I can understand a child can make you angry, you spank their butt, whatever. But what would make a grown woman who brought a child into in this world go and beat a child so much, so hard, to where that child is unalive? What would make her do that?
Also facing criminal charges. Our Kelly Rule has been following this developing story. She has more about this unthinkable crime from Newcastle, Delaware.
31-year-old Darrendale ran to Maryland, where police charged her with the murder of her 3-year-old daughter. Now, Cecil County officials say her boyfriend, charged with crimes related to the girl's death, was released today on $75,000 cash bond and home detention, despite the request he be held without bond. We want to warn you, some details of this case are disturbing.
How could you do that to your child? It's just, I could never.
Chloe Elborn says her community is haunted by what investigators say happened in this home on Elk Nest Drive, one of the first homes built in a newer cul-de-sac in Northeast Maryland. Court documents reveal 31-year-old Darian Randall admitted to beating her 3-year-old daughter Nola Dinkins to death with a belt at the home, owned by her boyfriend, 44-year-old Cedric Britton.
So you mean to tell me, even though that wasn't his child, he couldn't try to, I would say, defend the child to stop the mother from doing it? Like, everybody cannot be heartless. It got to be somebody in there got a heart. You see a woman beating her child to death, and you just sit there and allow that to happen and not try to stop it when it gets out of hand?
After admitting her story she originally told Newcastle County Police Tuesday night about her daughter being abducted on the side of the road in Delaware, more than 20 miles away from their home, was not true.
So she sit up there and lied and said her child was abducted. Her child was, somebody got her child when she know good and well her child was not abducted. She took the life of her own child. Demonic people doing demonic things. Interesting.
Just insane how close it was. And I've just been shaken up from it and sick.
Documents say after the alleged beating Monday, Britton tried to give Nola CPR, but she did not survive. Documents say Randall told police she put her daughter in a suitcase, which they took to the car, drove around with, and returned home. And eventually she asked Britton to relocate the suitcase. Documents say during an interview with police, Britton showed police a map of where he said Randall took Nola. And using that map, documents say police located the suitcase with remains inside on Dune Drive, a private road behind Britton's home. Neighbors say they never saw Nola or her mom and rarely saw Britton. Yesterday, they saw a truck remove cars from the home.
Well, it quickly escalated to something else because then a forensic unit showed up and more police showed up. Quite shocking. I mean, a 3-year-old? That's just absolutely...
What can this precious little girl do so bad that she was beaten to death? Not only was she beaten to death, she was put in a suitcase, like just disregarded, like, you know, garbage, really. She was a living soul, 3 years old. I just couldn't imagine, you know, I have a lot of nephew and nieces, so I just couldn't imagine my little 3-year-old nephew and my little 2-year-old niece beating them to death and then putting them in a suitcase. I couldn't fathom that. You have to be, your mindset has to be really just, you have to be gone, like mentally, spiritually. Like you have to have no soul to do something like this. And I'm like this. I don't know why people that don't really want kids keep having these kids. If you don't want kids, are you not, I would say mentally, spiritually, financially able, emotionally to have children, don't have them. Do what it takes to prevent from having children. Don't bring children to the world and then take their life. This child was 3 years old and she was disregarded and put in a suitcase. A suitcase.
Really terrible. And I just hard to believe things like that happen, and let alone in your backyard, so to speak.
Court documents obtained by Fox 29 from Marion County, Indiana, show a custody battle between Randall and Nola's father dating back to June of 2023. Records filed in March of this year show that Randall pulled her motion to move to Maryland, and that Randall and Nola's father agreed to specific parenting arrangements in Indiana. Back in Maryland, neighbors tell Fox 29 Britton was at a homeowners association meeting Tuesday night when he got the first call from police.
He acted fine. He acted like a normal person would. But
so evil doesn't have a particular look. It looks normal like me and you, but evil is evil. Like you just heard this lady said that he went to the homeowners association meeting and he was fine, like nothing happened. Hey, writers, how are you?
Blessings, blessings.
Blessings to you. Thank you for coming up and showing some love.
You're welcome. But yeah, it's a lot of these situations, but as you see, there was in the middle of a custody battle. And it's unfortunate that you see a lot of women do that. You know, I've seen a lot of cases like that here in Philadelphia where they go to the custody battle with the baby daddy, and somehow, some way in the middle of that custody battle, the child is unalive.
So she had so much hate for the daddy that she decided to beat her child to death and unalive her child. That's basically what you're telling me.
If you put it, like, if you pay attention, they said it, they're in the middle of a custody battle. And it's not the first story we've heard like this. There's something missing, but she's not going to say it. So we have to, like, if you want to understand the story a little better, like, there are situations like that. And I don't think it's just happening in Philly. I think it's happening in a lot of places. You see where I'm coming from?
Right.
And it's unfortunate that some of these situations get like this. Like, some women do get, how can I say it? Some women do have these kids, right, to tame the man, or to gain some money off the damn welfare system. And it's unfortunate that the child is the one that pays the price.
Right.
So
Right. Hey, Miss
this,
E. Hey, Randy. Yeah, you're right. You are so right about that, writers. I'm gonna play something else. This is what's going on in Nigeria. I don't know if you've heard this, but this is actually what's going on in Nigeria. Now, I want to ask you also before we go into the next thing. Now, what actually happened? What's going to happen to the mom and the boyfriend?
oh, they gonna be charged here in Philly. They gonna be charged. The question is,
Okay,
yeah, the question is depending what judge they get, how long they gonna get.
I hope they get life. Yeah, CC, a beautiful baby, a beautiful baby, and and his life and the life was taken. You know, um, are you still there,
Yeah,
Rachel?
yeah. I was muted,
Okay,
so no interruptions. I'm
Being
sorry.
slaughtered right now in Nigeria, and the world and the media just looks away. Well, Masara Kim, a reporter for Truth Nigeria, is here with some breaking details. So, Masara, we don't want secondhand reports. We don't want to hear, this person knows this person. You're on the ground. So tell us what is happening right now to the Christian community in your part of Nigeria.
Yeah, so as we speak right now, there are sporadic attacks ongoing simultaneously across the central states of Plateau and Benue, and there could also be others ongoing in other parts of the central region, which is popularly known as the Middle Belt region. But for the information that we have confirmed, there are ongoing attacks presently in the south and the west of Makurdi, the capital of Benue State, which is reputed as the breadbasket of Nigeria, and also the south of Jos, which is the capital of Plateau State, and also respected to be the Christian headquarters of Nigeria. So the attacks are ongoing as we speak right now, and we do not have all the facts. The details are still a bit sketchy, and we're still gathering information chiefly from witnesses who are still ducking for cover. But
So these people are having to hide because you have some terrorist groups in Nigeria that will not allow them to practice their faith. Some of these people are being slaughtered. Babies and children are also being slaughtered because of this. And it's people don't even have the freedom to believe what they want to believe. And now I heard a long time ago that you know I believe that some things are spirituality. When you choose to have faith in something, that's your spirituality. But I do also understand that sometimes religion can cause division, and it has the beginning of time. Cause religion. Now, I'm not talking about your faith, your personal faith on God and who you believe in. But religion to me is an organized religion. How can I say this? It's organized. It's an organization. Religion to me is like an organization on whatever faith you're in, but your belief system, that's something of your spirituality, what you believe and how you see God, how you view God or whatever. That's how I see it. Now I could be wrong, but that's how I interpret it. Religion is something, is an organization. So religion was meant to divide your own spirituality and your belief. And if you see Jesus as God, or you see Muhammad the prophet as being, the greatest prophet that's, close to God, then, that's your spirituality. But sometimes with it being up under an organization, it does cause other people to, I would say, in some ways, have prejudice or have different biased views that maybe cause conflict, where maybe people can just learn to respect other people's way of believing. And if they have non-belief, then we have to respect that too. But I do think that sometimes I would say in centuries before. Like, I think that sometimes religion has been more causing division than actually bringing people together. And
Yes.
I believe that people need to be able to be free to believe what they want to believe. Christians, believers in Christ, should be able to be free to believe in Christ. Muslims should be able to be free to serve Allah. And whoever, Buddhists, and the same thing. It's just, to me, I feel like even if you don't understand it or agree with it, to me, it just means that I'm not going to try to down you or try to just, unalive you because you don't agree with what I agree with. All right. Do you kind of understand what I'm saying, Rachel?
Yeah, that's true what you're saying. The thing is that
Without
people don't.
compromising what you believe. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
that's you're speaking facts. The only thing is that religion is not a belief; it's a practice. Like voodoo,
Religion is a practice.
Buddhism, yeah, it's a practice. It's
Yes.
not, you know. That's why people misunderstand it. Like we need to learn the words and the definitions, the meanings to the things we do and say.
Right. And I have to agree with you on that. Let me go back to this film. I don't know.
So far, in the past 1 week, well over 86 people have been slaughtered in just one county in Benue State alone. Others that have happened in the in the Guma County, which is presently witnessing the ongoing attacks as we speak, and more than 20 that have been slaughtered in the state of Plateau just in the past 1 week.
Well, Masari, you sent me some really terrible videos that you yourself filmed. So again, I think it's hard to look at some of these videos, but I think we need to. What are some of these videos that you sent me?
Yeah, so in one remarkable thing about the videos is, or rather one important video that I sent is mass destructions, and of course one that also shows a church that has been burned to the ground, a testament to the fact that these attacks are not climate change or farmer-herder clashes as genocide deniers would like to spread. There are religious attacks targeted at Christians, and they are chiefly aimed at imposing a caliphate in the world's largest black nation. And it is actually just the beginning or the first step to what I believe to be a global agenda, to take over the world. But getting a foothold of Nigeria is very strategic to this goal, because by the time more than 200 million Nigerians are now forced to become Muslims, and they are now recruited as food soldiers for this same mission, and they spread out in other countries. You can imagine the damage that they would do. Of course, there are other videos that show victims who are currently on admission there.
Look at this. Hey, SBK. Hey, yeah, Randy. And you're right. Religion is a practice. Like I said, I believe your faith. That's something that is an individual thing that you personally believe in. But religion is a practice. It's very rigid. It can be very rigid. At least some people make it. And that's why a lot of people are not able to practice their beliefs freely. That, in my opinion, that's just my opinion. You see this, and you're gonna see another lady on here. I think her arm was cut off. I don't know if it was by a machete or what, but they're even cutting children, babies, in half. Like, what type of mindset do you have to do something like that? Cutting people's arms and legs, unaliving people. This one lady had to pretend like she was unalive so that the terrorists could go on, and but had she not pretended like she was dead, he probably would have killed her right then and there. I think he severed her arm though.
They be going through it worse in other countries than what we go through it here.
receiving treatment at the hospital from injuries that they've received from bullet injuries that they received in the past few days. And there's one particular woman, you can see her hand severed by the attack. So survivor and family.
Wow.
6-year-old baby, her 2-year-old baby,
What?
all under her watch.
You paused it or it froze?
That's crazy.
Oh shit! This is not a takeover. Selena will be right back. She's just having a battle with Morpheus. She's telling Morpheus she don't want to take the blue pill or the red pill right now, so she's stuck in the matrix. So as soon as she kung fu the crap out of Morpheus, she'll come back to reality with us. All right? Yeah, the things that are happening around us, y'all see. Where right now, listen, man, it's not just a political war going on; it's a spiritual war going on. We need to wake up. Selena, come back. Don't leave me. Come back, Selena. Rescue me. Oh, man. I blame it on the weather. See, they messing with the Wi-Fi, the weather. Technical difficulties. She'll be right back, guys. Oh, there she goes. See? Boop. She came right back.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell is going on? I'm saying hello. Okay, let me
Voila.
this. Did you hear anything that that the guy was
Everything.
saying?
Yeah, I heard a little bit,
Let
but
me
then
go
everything
back.
froze.
Gosh, this I want to show you the lady that's hand was cut off. I don't know where it's at. Let me see if it stops right here.
This is a religious persecution issue. So Masara, I think in closing, the last video we just did a week ago, I think, has over 500,000 views. Thankfully, the CBN audience is paying attention to what is happening in Nigeria. But it seems like no one else is doing something on the Christian Post, but the mainstream media, by and large, ignores this. Why do you think the world and the media does not care?
Yeah, because the Nigerian authorities have succeeded in making the world to believe that the right now is an ISIS, who are members of an unidentified jihadist faction who identify as members of the terrorists, ISIS, Boko Haram, Al Qaeda, and the Nigerian government simply tells the world that these are just land disputes, these are just sedentary farmers clashing with semi-nomadic cattle herders. But in reality, when they come for these attacks, they don't go after Muslims, they don't go after mosques, they don't go after anyone who does not identify as a Christian. As long as you identify as a Christian, you are a target. And when they attack, they displace communities, they replace these communities and turn them to no-go zones for Christians and also as staging grounds for further attacks. Like I said in the last video, in the past 2 decades, more than 150 Christian communities have been captured by these terrorists and turned to no-go zones for the original Christian landowners. Now, that's just in Plateau State. There are 200 in Benue State. There are more than 200 in Kaduna State. There are more than 200 in Nasarawa State and in Niger State, where you have the so-called Fulani terrorists and contesting territorial control with these insurgents. There are more than 500 that have been captured by these terrorists who are fighting for the same goal, right? So while they might be fighting under different names and under different platforms and identities, the goal is to impose Sharia in Africa's most populous country.
Masara, thank you for your clarity. Thank you for your reporting, and we will be praying for you and your family. God bless, my friend.
Thank you, and it's great to speak with you and the rest of the world.
All right. Well, we saw some of that. Like I said, I just wanted to touch base.
Is a genocide again?
That there is actually, it's kind of strange, but and not really, because like I said, that people cannot practice what they cannot believe what they would like to believe. It's really kind of sad that people are like that, but it's kind of like, I'm gonna say maybe it could be a genocide that's going to be over there in Nigeria, because some of the believers in Christ, they cannot believe that, because if so, they will be unalive. Their children will be unalive. Their babies will be unalive because of what they choose to believe in. And that's unfortunate. And it's never going to me, it's never going to stop. It's going to be like this to the end of the time. Do you guys, it may sound like a stupid question, because some people, depending on what their belief system is, they may not see nothing wrong with what they're doing. To them, what they're doing is not demonic. It's taken up for, they should believe this, and this is the way of life, the way they should believe. So to them, it may not be demonic to them, but to a normal person, and I try my best not to be offensive to people, but mostly to normal people that know right from wrong. I'm not unaliving anybody for what they choose to believe or not to believe. That's on them. But there is a lot of this going on. So it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Hey, 4D. Hey, I said what I said. Thank you, Rachel, for coming up. If anybody else would like to come up, you are more than welcome. But I want to stop here. But there is a lot going on in Nigeria, in the continent of Africa. Hey, 4D. Happy Father's Day to all of my fathers, my true supporters. Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day. So it's really sad that people are really going through this just because of what they choose to believe. Just because of what they choose to believe. And like I said, if we go back in history, hey, it's vice versa, So some of these religious organizations, like I said, religious organizations, they could have been a Protestant, Catholics. They would unalive people too for not believing what they want you to believe, what they want you to believe. And it's sad. It's really sad. Anybody wants to come up and have a discussion on this? I think I was going to show you something else. I don't know if you guys know what's going on in the Iran, the thing that's going on in Iran and Israel. This is an ongoing war that will be here for the beginning. It happened from the beginning of time, biblical days, even till now. And all it is people basically fighting over land, right? Fighting over land. And this has been going on from the beginning of time. And it's unfortunately happening now. I don't know where this is going to lead us as the United States. Like, how are we going to get involved in this? Will it backfire? There's a lot of different thoughts that I have about this. Will this be a World War III? I would say, I don't know. So I want your thoughts on it. Hey, Billy, happy Father's Day. I want some of your thoughts on it, what you guys think of it. I'm just going to share a news clip of what's going on in Iran and Israel. Let me see if I can find it. Okay. I'm just going to share a few of CBS News, and this is under fair
Iran's
use.
retaliation for Israel's attack on its nuclear program. Iran continued targeting Israel with a barrage of missiles this morning. Israeli military officials say most were intercepted, but at least 3 people were killed and dozens more wounded. This comes 2 days after Israeli forces used warplanes, drones, and covert operatives to target Iran's top military leaders and scientists, along with its nuclear facilities. Iran also sent a warning to the United States, France, and the United Kingdom that their bases and ships in the Middle East will be targeted if they help Israel stop Tehran's missile attacks. Haley Ott is following the conflict from our London newsroom and joins us now. Haley, good morning.
Good morning, Dana. 2 U.S. officials confirmed to CBS News that the United States helped Israel intercept some of those Iranian missiles overnight as Iran retaliated for that Israeli attack.
Sirens through the night, sending millions across Israel to bomb shelters. Waves of Iranian retaliatory strikes rained down on the country. Some made it through Israel's missile defense systems, smashing into homes, injuring dozens and killing at least 3. Israel, meanwhile, continued its massive assault on Iran, its largest ever air offensive against its longtime enemy, killing at least 70 people and wounding hundreds, targeting military leaders, infrastructure, and Iran's nuclear program, including nuclear scientists and facilities, like Iran's main enrichment site at Natanz, shown here in the aftermath of an attack. Israel said its assault was necessary to prevent Iran from developing a nuclear weapon. On Friday, global nuclear watchdog, the IAEA, warned of the serious risks of combat around nuclear sites.
Any military action that jeopardizes the safety and security of nuclear facilities risks grave consequences for the people of Iran, the region, and beyond.
Hundreds of supporters of Iran's hardline government turned out in Tehran to celebrate their country's response to Israel's attacks. We will continue to give a crushing response with the support of our people, our leader, and our brave soldiers, this woman said. But many Iranians are unhappy with their government, with the state of the economy and the lack of certain freedoms.
The proud people of Iran.
And Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu sent a message to the Iranian people.
And the time has come for you to unite around your flag and your historic legacy by standing up for your freedom from an evil and oppressive regime.
Dr. Raz Zimt is the director of the Iran program at Israel's Institute for National Security Studies.
Is there a risk that the regime could fall because of these assaults?
Right now, I think that the only way for a regime change in Iran is if the Iranian regime collapses from within, or if we see more and more protests going on inside Iran.
And Israel's defense minister has warned this morning that, quote, Tehran will burn if it continues firing missiles at Israel, which it has vowed to do. Michelle.
Haley Ott in London. Thank you.
So this is what's going on in Iran. In Israel. It's unfortunate, but this is going to be the way it is. How it is going to affect us, I don't know. You know, we'll just have to wait and see. And hopefully our president will make the right decisions on whether to get involved or not to get involved. We'll just have to wait and see and pray that he makes the right decision. I want to know, do you guys, and this is just, and bless me with a super chat or something. I would truly appreciate it. If you have it in your means to, show me some love. because sometimes getting on here is not easy. So, hey, show me some love, a little love. But I want to ask you guys, do y'all think it's more evil than good? Or do you think the evil is louder than the good? I wonder what's y'all what is y'all opinion on that? Is it more bad than good or good than bad? Or is the evil louder than the good? I kind of have mixed feelings on that. It's a lot going on in this world that we could be really focusing on, instead of gossip and lies. And we have a whole world that is falling apart. And partially, some of that is human beings' responsibility. They have a part to play in that. I always say the world is not bad. There's just bad people. The world is good just by itself. There's beauty in the world. But I don't think the world is bad. I just think that there's a lot of bad people. That's just in my opinion, And unfortunately, if we look at the news, we're going to see if you look at the news, you'll just be depressed. There's never anything good on the news to me. Every now and then you'll hear an uplifting story. Right. So I really thought that was interesting, that, how the world is going and how people have no type of sense of right or wrong, no type of sympathy or empathy. They just do. They don't care how it affects other people. They don't care what they do to other people. They just do. So it's pretty interesting, and we see it every day. So let me see if it's something. I was going to show another video from the DD podcast. I thought that was pretty interesting that I wanted you guys to kind of look at. And you guys need to check out The Truth About Hip Hop. It's a guy by the name of G. Craig Lewis. He's actually I think he's from Fort Worth, Texas. And he is a person, he's a minister, but he breaks down the history of hip hop from African Bambaataa, and breaks it down to where in layman's terms, anybody can understand where the history of hip hop came, how it affected the teens back in the 80s to the 90s. And we all know the 80s was the crack epidemic, when a lot of people were getting on that substance. He just breaks everything down, even from the sacrifices. For those who are into that kind of stuff, some people say it's conspiracy theories. I believe it's really what is going on. And I wanted to share this video with y'all. I didn't know if you guys have time. I was gonna share this video with you guys. This is again by DD Got a Podcast. I really like his commentary. And I want to share this with y'all too, so y'all can see it. Let me see. Hey, MIT, how are you? Thank you for coming through. Sure it is. Demonic things people do. I think it's these here. Do you guys remember? Now, this is before Kanye West did his Christian album. This was before then. It looks like, I don't know, it's look kind of weird, but you got angels with rams or goats, horns, and it's always a clip that they show when he says, "I sold my soul to the devil," and and he talks a little bit about that in his song. So I don't know if he was really saying that he sold his soul, or if that's just something that people say. And part I'm going to say this one is how selling your soul really works is worse than you thought. Okay. And again, this is fair use. This is under DD Got a Podcast. So I want to share this with y'all if y'all have some time.
Music came with a few toys like a Happy Meal.
Like, whereas fame used to be the byproduct of success, and now it's the ultimate goal. And if your ultimate goal is to be famous, then you're gonna do a lot to get there. Like sign your name in blood in a contract with the devil. Like you're gonna end up on a one-way street, and it's going nowhere. Like that's just.
I don't think some of these people, especially some of these entertainers, I don't think they mean to be. Their goal is not to be a demonic person or an evil person. I believe their goal is to get out of their poverty, get out of their situation, their financial situation, and help their family and help themselves. I really believe when an artist or any of these people that go into this music industry or entertainment, whether Hollywood or whatever, I really believe that their goal, their most of them want to be famous so that they can have the money to take care of themselves and their families, and they don't have to struggle financially. That's what I think. But I think something happens with them going into the into the entertainment business. It's kind of like, to keep that money coming in, to keep that lifestyle, they do a lot of sacrificing of themselves. And I don't always think it's selling your soul. It's saying, the devil wrote a contract and signed it, and I signed it. Now, I don't think it's always that. I think it's just letting yourself just go and not having any morals and just doing what you need to do and to stay on top, regardless of if it hurts you or if it hurts other people. That's what I think so much selling your soul could be, instead of just writing. Sometimes it could be a contract. We just never know, because some of us will never reach that, or go into that type of field where we would have to compromise. But I think selling your soul could just be compromising yourself, compromising your family, not having no regards, not having no boundaries for yourself or anybody else. You just trying to stay on top. That's what I think selling your soul could be in some cases.
The truth. I've seen so many people like forsake their moral code and their values just for a little bit of fame, and it's not worth it at the end of the day. It's really not worth it.
You ever look at music that you've written and look back at it and say, whoa, that surprised me?
I used to. I don't do that anymore. I don't know how I got to write those songs.
What do you mean you don't know how?
Well, those early songs were like almost magically written. Darkness at the break of noon, shadows even the silver spoon, a hand blade, a child's balloon.
Eclipses both the sun and moon. To understand, you know too soon. There is no sense in trying.
Try to sit down and write something like that. There's a magic to that, and it's not Siegfried and Roy kind of magic. It's a different kind of a penetrating magic.
Why do you still do it? Why are you still out here?
Well, it goes back to the destiny thing. I made a bargain with it, a long time ago, and holding up my end.
What was your bargain?
To get where I am now. Should I ask who you made the bargain with? With the chief commander.
On this earth?
And in this earth, and then in the world we can't see.
Yeah, nobody gets out. You don't get out. You sell your soul to the devil. You owe them.
This is Craig G. Lewis, the minister I was telling you about that did the Truth on Hip Hop. You guys really need to check him out. It's not so much, he ain't no preacher, because I know some people not into it. He really is. He's used to actually being music, and he still is. He has his own band and stuff like that. So he really breaks a lot of it down. And I think because of it copyright, I can only show what's on YouTube, but I got a lot of his videos that I had to buy, and I'm not sure if I could use them on here. I'm not really sure if I will be penalized, but I will have to go under his YouTube and see if I can find something that just gives you like a little commercial of stuff he talks about. Thank you thank you so much, CC. I appreciate you. Hey, Icy.
I sold my soul to the devil. For years, we've been hearing rapper after rapper after rapper saying over and over again that they sold their soul to the devil. to the point where it has almost lost its meaning, and it almost sounds like they mean it figuratively. But can rappers actually sell their soul to the devil? How do they actually sell their souls to the devil? Let's talk about it. All right, so what's up, everybody? Before we get into today's video exposing all the ways that people actually sell their souls, there's a few disclaimers I need to get out real fast before we get into the video. If you are homosexual,
Randy, he's out of Fort Worth, and I believe his church is somewhere. I think it's either west of Fort Worth. I forgot, but I know he's in Fort Worth, Texas. That's where he's from.
if you are bisexual, if you are pansexual, it's very important to understand this video is not an attack on you. None of my videos are and will never ever be an attack on a person who is homosexual. It's very important to make this distinction. I am a Christian. I believe that the lifestyle is a sin. I am also a sinner. I sinned yesterday. I sinned this morning already. But the lifestyle, the scripture,
Let me go ahead.
People go over there and join the Patreon, and I love it. Some of them will be extended videos just like this one will be, and then there will be videos that are no longer on YouTube. They used to be on YouTube, but they are now more Patreon appropriate, and once you watch the videos, it's obvious why. Number 3, it's also important to understand that I will be dropping videos over there that is exclusively for Patreon. But because again, I do everything myself on this channel, it's only me you're looking at. I'm the only person, so I need time to be able to put these videos together, which is why it's important that you all support me. Because
Hey, Angel, how are you? Thank you for coming through.
a lot of people just simply support me just to support me, and that's love. I appreciate it. The last thing I want to say is, speaking of Patreon, there will be a few things in this video that I will not include on YouTube, especially one of the biggest ways that people sell their souls.
Okay, let me fast forward it.
Very long time, who had this meeting and decided they were going to invest in private prisons. Once they invested in private prisons, they wanted to figure out how to create a pipeline into these prisons. Hip-hop was going to be the genre of choice, and so they had to take people, infiltrate them in this genre to make these things sound and look cool. And once you look at the 90s with NWA and all the artists, Tupac and Biggie and everybody that came after that point, it 100% makes perfect sense that they were able to pull this off. And everybody has been playing their role. Diddy is one of those people, 100%, and Diddy is not the only one. There are several other people that were placed in position to lead the masses, especially the black community, astray to indulge in criminal activity.
Do you guys believe that? Do you believe that the executives were thinking, what can we do to get black youth, to get the minorities to start doing some certain behaviors, criminal behaviors? Do you think that they put music artists like NWA, Tupac, all these different people? Do you think that the reason why they wanted to put their music out and invest in their music was to I would say cause the minority community to go into criminal activity? Do you because before the hip hop with the African Bambaataa, I think what was Craig G. Lewis talks about it, how he was like, I don't know if you guys know this, but Lucifer was the I would say the most beautiful angel. He was over the music, and he had to, from what Craig Lewis was explaining, how with him being over the music, in order to draw souls wayward from even having a relationship with God or being connected with God. And music, we all know, is a universal language. Everybody loves music for the most part. Everybody likes to dance. Even if they can't dance, people love music, and they communicate with in their in music. That's like I said, that's a universal language. So he used, from what he was saying, Lucifer used rock and roll to draw them away, for the Caucasian people, because Caucasian people, they liked rock and roll, but and so and how some of the youth in that were back then, especially those who were in rock and roll, they would get on drugs heavily. They would do a lot of satanic worship, because back then with the heavy metal, even now, it's a lot of satanic rituals. Even if they don't believe in it, they show it on their music videos and stuff like that. So, and I was going back a couple of years ago, I came across a guy named John Todd. He was part of the Luciferian. He was a Luciferian. He was part of the occult. I think he was also a warlock, and he come from a long line of witches and warlocks. And he was talking about how they had they call it I think it was like 13 families, and that's what they considered the Illuminati. And some of the ancestor, like people that were ancestors of those 13 families, they had like people like set up in different, organizations, and it was just a lot going on. But anyway, my whole point was how Lucifer was to use the rock and roll. That was for more of, getting the Caucasian youth, because he always goes for the youth first, because the old, they have already molded into who they are. But when the youth are just starting out, so he'll try to target the youth, just like with hip hop. Not all hip hop is bad, but a lot of it is, let's just be honest, target towards criminal activity, drug use, sleeping with a lot of women, being sexually promiscuous, so it's just a lot that goes in it. And I can't break it down like Craig G. Lewis, but that's why I said you guys have to check him out. He's really interesting.
Okay, now that we understand that, a portion of the interview, we talked about how people like Diddy sold his soul. People like a lot of folks in the music industry in Hollywood sold their soul. But a reason why people tend to struggle to fully understand or grasp the concept of these things being true, instead of just believing that it's a conspiracy theory when all the evidence is right here in our faces, is because when they hear sell your soul, a lot of folks don't even believe in God. Well, everybody believes in God. The scripture says everybody believes in God. We just suppress the truth with a hardened heart. But listen, for those of us for the people out there that don't believe in God, they already struggle with the concept because they don't think that the devil is real to begin with. So in order to help those of you out there who are maybe unsure, agnostic about if God exists or not, let me break it down to you this way in this video so you can better understand what selling your soul mean, because it's not just ritualistically that people sell their soul. That's definitely one of the ways, but we're going to get into all the ways that people sell their soul. But before we do that, it's important once again that I drive home this point about Diddy being an agent. Here is Professor Griff 15 years ago talking about Diddy being an agent, infiltrating hip-hop, and the role that he was supposed to play, how he did it, and the evidence to support the claims.
I think the thing that raised some eyebrows with people is when I dropped the information about Quincy Jones. I let the chips fall wherever they fall. That's right. This dude was one of the ones responsible. He had a magazine financed by Warner Brothers and the rest of them. He set up 6 rings in Hollywood. And the people that he brought in, if you'll tell me if I'm lying. Quincy Jones brought in Fresh Prince. And his first movie was what? 6 Degrees of...
That was I saw it a few years ago, and I didn't even know that Will Smith was in a in a role like that. I'm used to seeing him on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, so it was pretty surreal when I saw him playing that character on 6 Degree Separation. He was playing a homosexual, and I think that was actually before Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Was it after? No, it was after he was doing Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He did this role here, because I was trying to. I know he started out rapping. He started out doing that music first, and then he went into Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and then he started doing some movies. But this, I believe, is his first movie.
Separation. More than Queen Latifah. Queen Latifah set it off, licking and kissing on women. Are you following me? Yes. Tevin Campbell. I caught it apart. Thank you. And last but not least, when Tupac came to Hollywood, it was the homosexual ritual. This is where the homosexuals came out against it, but I didn't mind. I wasn't talking about homosexuals. I'm saying there's a homosexual ritual that they go through in the Illuminati secret societies, and it is. So when I mentioned that about it marrying itself on to hip-hop, they said, well, can you prove it? Yeah. Go back and go online and read where Tupac said he was asked by Quincy Jones. When Tupac said no, that's when Tupac was marked for death. Why? Because Tupac was engaged to Quincy Jones's daughter. Quincy Jones's daughter was best friend was Aaliyah. Aaliyah was engaged to Dame Dash. Now, if y'all follow these people back, all of them either died or was brought to ruin. Who creates and manufacture these trends? Brothers of Sagging, which y'all know is nigga spelled backwards, right? And what they did was marry the criminal culture in jail onto the street culture and made it part of hip-hop. So now, homosexuality is on the rise.
Mark Carey's book, Dancing with the Devil, How Puppy Burned the Bad Boys of Hip-Hop. He talked about that. You understand what I'm saying? So when you talk about Puffy...
So isn't this interesting that P. Diddy is being exposed at this time in history? He's finally being exposed for some of his devious behavior with the sex parties and all of that. It's amazing that Professor Griff was talking about this, 15, 20 years ago, already talking about P. Diddy. And now everything is starting to come out. So that's pretty interesting, don't y'all think?
Hiring these gay, French, and Italian, and European white dudes to design his clothes, we found out that they had put an implantable biomicrochip inside the label. So like the jeans you got on, that may not even be your size, but when you went to the store, you said, man, I get a 42 regular. Well, they took the small, medium tags and put it on the large, and the extra large jeans.
Again, I'll play the extended version of that clip on my Patreon. I don't want to say too much on here because this video may get flagged. All right, now that we've driven that point home, how do rappers and other people, including people who are not even in Hollywood, what are all the ways that people sell their souls? So one of the most common ways is if you are willing to change your morals in order to gain something, such as fame and success, that's 100% selling your soul. Now, this may seem so basic.
Yeah, I talked about that earlier. Sometimes it's not always a written contract. Sometimes it's just you not having no morals and just doing what you feel like doing, regardless of who it hurts. That's one of the ways of selling your soul. And people do it for cash. People do it for fame. People do it for notoriety and all of that. It's just, that's when you just don't have no morals. You don't care.
But it's something I need y'all to understand about this. If you have a desire to be rich and famous, well known, praised by the masses, which is ironically very similar to Lucifer's story, right? Because Lucifer, the story in the Bible is that Lucifer was a high-ranking angel, but what he had wasn't good enough. He wanted what God had. He wanted to be on the same level as God. So he was willing to put himself first and go after what God had, and we know the rest. Well, it's the same way with not just people in Hollywood, but even YouTubers, right? Everyday people, which, by the way, the same way that hip-hop has been infiltrated to be able to control the masses, it wasn't just hip-hop. It's also new versions of that, such as streamers, YouTubers. When you look at streamers, they are 100% being controlled as well to lead the masses in a particular direction. If you'd like to see a full video on that, hop in the comment section and let me know. But if you are willing to compromise your morals and your belief system in order to gain fame, success, whether that be on a small level or a large level, it is 100% selling your soul. Because let's take somebody like Future, for example, the rapper Future. He has come out and literally admitted himself, he doesn't even do drugs. I'm going to say it again. Future does not even do drugs. And majority of his music, and I'm talking like 90% of Future's music, is talking about drug use, heavy drug use. One person like Lil Wayne never had these gang ties everybody knew about. Many gangsters have come out and said, listen, we've never known him to be a gangster. All of a sudden, Wayne got teardrops in music, and I used to heavily listen to him, so I know. He got an infamous line where he says, I'm not a killer, but don't push me. Yet he got teardrops on his face. At one point in his career, career, when you think about Chris,
Nacho, I hope I don't get sued. How are you? Happy Father's Day. Happy Father, Easy Did It. Happy Father, Reggie, Randy, everybody. Happy Father's Day. I hope I don't get sued. But yeah, Rick Ross wasn't even like, I guess he was trying to go after the real Rick Ross, but he was a correctional officer, and that's very strange. But I do like some of his music. I ain't gonna lie. But shout out to Rick Ross. But he is also heavily influencing our youth and people today. It's all about the money, at the end of the day. And people don't care who they could be sending the wrong message to, especially our youth. Like, it's not all about the money. It's not all about nice cars and having all the women, or being an Instagram model and being on the music videos. Like, I don't know. People's definition of what, it makes them happy or have joy is different for different people. But I'm like this. In my opinion, and how I look at stuff, if you have the basics, you have some money that you can buy food with, have a place to stay, people that love you, people that like you, clothes on your back, shoes on your feet, I think you're doing pretty good. It may not be everything you want, but there's no way I would want to sell my soul, give up my morals, or go out here looking crazy just for some clicks and views and money. Like, at the end of the day, if I have the basics, I'm good. But for some people, it's never enough. Hey, Mel. Sorry, guys. I was on the phone, had a call I had to take. But thank you so much for coming through. I don't know if y'all are enjoying this or not. Hey, Mr. Kimi. Hey, IC Martin Show. Thank you for coming through. Selena, you can't hear the audio. Oh my God, you couldn't hear anything? Oh, wow. Okay, can you okay, let's see where did we stop? Can't I don't know what's wrong with this internet. Can y'all hear it now? It's crazy. Hey Tanya, can y'all hear it now? Y'all put a 1 in the chat if y'all heard me. Because I put the microphone on mute. What the hell? Let me see. That's crazy. Okay, put a 1 in the chat if you can hear it now. Oh, you can't hear it. I wonder did YouTube take it off? I don't know because I have it up. That's crazy. Maybe YouTube don't want me playing it. You know, YouTube is a funny place. They're kind of like some of these executives as well, honey. They'll cut you off. So I'm gonna stop playing it. Maybe I wasn't maybe I shouldn't have been playing it as long. I'm not sure, but it's definitely a good video. If you got some times, go to DD Got a Podcast. I sure do hate that because, like I said, this guy is really breaking it down. I'm thinking y'all hearing everything. Y'all not hearing jack. That's crazy. I did want to introduce you guys to Craig G. Lewis. He said, I say, right. I want to introduce y'all to him now. This guy here, Craig G. Lewis, is he off the hook. Like he breaks it down. I wish I could share the video with you, but like I said, it's under copyright, so I'm not sure how that will it do something to my platform. But he has some YouTube channels on here. I'm gonna share this with y'all if y'all have some time. If anybody would like to come up, I'm mute now. Am I still mute? Put 1 in the chat if I'm still mute. Craig G. Lewis exposes hip hop. This is one of his interviews. See, this is the kind of the stuff I want to do. I want to interview all these different type of people. I don't care what type of beef these people trying to get me into. I'm focused. I'm focused on what I want to be doing in the future. If I continue to keep doing any type of social media, I want to interview different types of people. Craig G. Lewis is a very interesting person. Like I said, he gives you a biblical perspective, but he also not only does he give you a biblical perspective, he also gives you a perspective of actually the reality of what is actually going on. And he is friends with a lot of people that are known artists that actually are in the music industry. I hear you. Thank you. That really have seen some of the stuff that we be talking about. Well, what a lot of people be talking about. He was one of the first people. Well, I ain't gonna say first people. Like I said, Professor Griff, and talked a lot about what was going on in the entertainment business, business and how different people were set up to basically be a catalyst to kind of usher a lot of different things in the Black community in the entertainment business. But Craig G. Lewis he's somebody y'all need to really check out.
I don't understand the devil.
Like he is.
Remember, I showed y'all this.
It's on pause. He is really something y'all need to check out. I'm just gonna share a couple of clips with y'all. Again, he's from out of Fort Worth, Texas. G. Craig Lewis. I'm sorry, I got his name wrong. See, I want to interview people like this. I want to interview different types of people on my platform, and that's different, and that really interviewing is something that I actually enjoy doing. Asking people questions, their thought processes, and how they see the world, whether I agree with them or not. I always like to see people's mindsets, and this is something that I would love to do on, something that I would like to do very often. So this is G. Craig Lewis, and this is just a small clip. It's 6 minutes and 52 minutes. Again, this is one of his many videos that he did about the hip hop and the truth about behind hip hop. And I got mostly all of his videos. And he talks about the devil's demands for sacrifice. So if you notice that a lot of the ritualistic things that happen, especially around the entertainment business, it's like you always see somebody either dying, somebody getting unalived, kind of like Biggie and Tupac, and how sometimes they could be considered blood sacrifices. And so he talks a little bit about that. I'm just going to share a little bit of that with y'all. I'm going to go back to the chat and see if you guys can hear me, because I hate to be talking and y'all can't hear. Can y'all hear the audio? Yes or no? One, if you can't. You said this dude, MYG187, used to talk about it on YouTube back in 06, 07. YouTube banned and blackballed him in most of his videos. Wow. Can y'all hear the audio? Because I'm play it again, because I don't want it to not play if y'all can't hear it. If y'all can't hear it, I don't want to play it.
Old dirty bastard, and like he died the next day, dropped dead. But what I didn't tell y'all was that he had come out with a name for himself called Big Baby Jesus. He said that he was Jesus. And he died. See, that's how the devil does. See, the devil, and one thing you got to understand, the devil always demands a sacrifice. Just like God says, present your bodies unto him a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God, which is a reasonable service. That's what Jesus did on the cross. He offered himself up one for us all. So now we offer ourselves up to God as a living sacrifice. We live holy and acceptable unto him, which is what reasonable service means, what you're supposed to do anyway. You know, we live right for 3 days. We're like, Lord, I live right for 3 days. You ought to bless me. God's like, you supposed to do that.
Thank you so much, El Boogie. I appreciate you. Thank you.
But the devil always demands a sacrifice. And if you know anything about the Antichrist and the devil, he always does the opposite of what God does. He's anti. Anti is opposite. Antichrist. Amen? Are y'all with me? So he demands a dead sacrifice. So anytime, if you look at satanic rituals and satanic circles and all these kinds of things, you notice that they always have to offer up a dead sacrifice. A lot of these secret societies and all of these different things, they always have to offer up dead sacrifice because the devil always demands one. So I'm telling you, these folks that do this music, whenever they begin to get glory or begin to be lifted up, they always have to be sacrificed.
What y'all think about that? What y'all think about that? El Boogie says some of the instrumentals I use are copywriting from artists' music I use, like my recent song, Money on Money. You would have to edit it out. Okay. Hey, Cutting Edge, how are you? Happy Father's Day. Hey, Willie, happy Father's Day. Okay, let me keep going.
He always demands a sacrifice. It's Tupac Shakur, remember, height of his career. Biggie Smalls, who was coming out with a clothing line called 666. Yeah. But he always demands a sacrifice. They always have to be offered up. That's Aaliyah, and she got into some things. Let's talk about this for a minute. See, one thing you got to realize is whenever you are serving the enemy, whenever you are glorifying the enemy or bringing attention to the enemy, he always demands a sacrifice. Now, we talked about the yada, the tongue, and how you can speak things into existence and prophesy on yourself. Y'all can't read these words, but I'm going to read them to you. Biggie Small, this is a song he put out right before he died. He said, as I grab the Glock, put it to your headpiece, one in the chamber, the safety's off release, straight to your dome homes, I want to see cabbage. Biggie Smalls the savage, doing your brain cells much damage. I'm ready to die, and nobody can save me. Blank the world, blank my moms and my girl. My life is played out like a Jerry curl. I'm ready to die. Tupac, right before he died, came out with this song. I see death around the corner. The pressure's getting to me. I no longer trust my homies. Them phonies tried to do me. Smoking too much weed got me paranoid, stressed. Pack a gat in my vest under my clothes when I dress. Here's hoping I die the way I live, straight thugging, hugging my trigger for all them niggas that was bugging. And even if I die young, who cares? All I got was mean mugs and cold stares. I can't give up, although I'm hopeless. I think my mind's gone. All I can do is get my grind on. Death is around the corner.
Wow. So they were basically speaking that into existence. Isn't it funny? Hey, CX, happy Father's Day. Isn't it funny how both of these two used to be friends before they fell out due to, I believe, Tupac thought the first time he got shot several times, he thought that Biggie had something to do with it. But you know what? I think there was somebody else that had something to do with it, and it wasn't Biggie. To be honest with you, allegedly, a lot of people were saying it was. I don't know if I said that right. I don't believe it was Biggie, but I don't believe it. I don't believe it was Biggie, but I do believe Diddy had something allegedly to do with this situation. I believe that sometimes people create beef. They're like on the outside. They're outside of the situation. Say, for instance, these two are friends, right? You have someone on the outside knows what it will take for another person to get to another level. So they will set things up so that other people, the blame can be placed on another person. I don't know if you guys get what I'm saying, but why I say allegedly, when I was listening at that audio book with the Kim Porter book, and they said that allegedly that was her, but some people saying that, you know, that wasn't her. I know her children were saying that that wasn't her that wrote that book about, you know, that situation with, you know, the things that she went through. But in the when I listened to the audio, the book was saying how Diddy set up Biggie, because Biggie was about to leave his record label and start his own record label. Actually, Tupac and Biggie was actually supposed to start a record label together. And so Diddy got wind of it, allegedly. This is allegedly in the audio book. And after Diddy found out about it, that he was going to leave him and start a record label with Tupac, that's when he decided to make the plan. And the plan was to first, and plus, you know, he didn't like Tupac anyway, was to first get rid of Tupac and then eventually get rid of, you know, Biggie, because Biggie did not want to be up under Diddy anymore. He did not want to be up under him. Allegedly is what they, you know, what was said. So I believe that sometimes there's people that set in place to kind of be puppet masters and masterminds of things. And these kind of things happen. And then everybody years later is trying to figure out, well, who actually did the murder? Was I believe it was a hired to murder? Yes. Do I believe Diddy has something to do with it? I wouldn't put nothing past Diddy. I'm just gonna be honest with you. He sold his soul a long time ago, and he went after, like I said, Biggie was already in the streets. He was trying to make a living for himself, his daughter at the time, and his young daughter at the time, and his mother. He was trying to set a better life for his family. And sometimes we get involved with people that we shouldn't because of how desperate we are in a situation. When you're desperate, a lot of these entertainers, when they're desperate, they end up making deals that they end up regretting. So that's just my kind of spiel on that. Hey, SJ. Hey, Chill. Happy Father's Day.
See, these brothers, right before they die. That's how serious this thing is. And one thing, I know a lot of, Christians like horror movies, and they like to watch demons and junk on TV and horror movies, but they don't understand there's an element to the horror movies of America that nobody wants to talk about. And that is, every time a movie that depicts horror in this nation celebrates it, every time a movie like that is made, somebody directly starring in it or directly related to a star in it has to die. Research it. Every time. But we want to be entertained watching demons and monsters and this kind of stuff, and we don't understand that somebody had to die because the enemy was glorified. There was a.
So, do y'all know any movies, horror movies where I have heard a lot of suspicious things going on in some of these movies? Did y'all hear about that last movie? The one, what is that guy that did the movie Precious? I can't think of his name. Is it Anton Daniels? But that movie that came out that these people was talking about, it came on Netflix. I forgot what it's called, but it was about these kids, the kids in the house were going like into demonic possession or whatever. And a couple of people, I think one person died. And I think the director, his sister ended up getting cancer after she was, because she did a role on there. She ended up getting cancer right after that. And then somehow, because I heard him kind of doing an interview on it. I'm going to see if I can find that. But it'd be a lot of Lee Daniels. I said Anton not forgive me, not Anton, but Lee Daniels. That's right, Lee Daniels. Thank you. But anyway, I'm gonna see if I can find a clip of that where he talks about all the weird stuff that was going on the movie set. I'm sorry, not the music set, but the movie set. And so, and I want to do some research on that. Most of these scary movies, do somebody die or something like that, or is it just a coincidence? I wonder about that kind of stuff.
Sacrificial ceremony involved. This is Aaliyah. Sad situation. Beautiful young girl. But they got her to play this part in this movie called Queen of the Damned. She played Akasha, who was supposed to be the head of all vampires. When she was working on this movie, she began to realize that she was just like Akasha. She says, I play Akasha, who is the queen and the first original vampire. She said, that's me. It's a good part. I've been working with my coach. I work with him all the time, and I've been working extra hard to prepare for this and get comfortable with what she's all about so I can do it the right way. Then she says, I'm a night person, so I guess you could say I kind of have the part in me anyway. I'm a bit of a vampire for real. I like the dark, I like the night, so I really don't have to take it to the extreme of sleeping in coffins. Sad.
It's a little weird, but hey, everybody's different. Aaliyah was one of those stars. She was a rising star, beautiful voice, very talented in her acting, just a beautiful woman. It's unfortunate how her life was just taken from her at such an early age. Um, I can almost remember where I was at the time I found out that her plane crashed. It was surreal. I always, when I was a kid, I wanted to be like Aaliyah. You know what I'm saying? I would try to swoop my hair to the side and all that kind of stuff, like her, how she used to do it. I mean, Aaliyah was really that girl back in the day. She was like how Selena Quintanilla is to the Hispanic community. Aaliyah was like that for us coming up. And she was just so young and so beautiful and so talented. It's just a shame. Do you guys believe that her death was a sacrifice?
Sad. And then a plane went down and they found her in, you know, shrubberies. I think it went down in a swamp. She was covered in brush and you know, snakes and whatever's in a swamp. And she had just shot, prior to that, a video where she was depicting herself in that same situation. But it's just music, you know, it's just music, isn't it? Isn't it just music? Brother Craig? You know, that's what they want to say, isn't it? I mean, isn't it just music? Here are some of the coveted awards that our people want so bad for the music that we do. This is, you know, the American Music Award, which is a pyramid. What is a pyramid? A pyramid is a...
Okay, so that's just one of his films that I wanted to share with you guys. That you guys, if you ever have time and you want to look him up, he is definitely something to look at. You said the set of the first Exorcist, several actors passed. Also, Poltergeist. That's what okay, because I forgot about now. Poltergeist, I remember the little blonde head girl, the daughter. She died short. I think she died. Did she die on the set CX, or did she die shortly after that? But she had some type of weird illness that happened to that poor little girl, and she ended up dying. I think that girl was like 8 or 9 years old. But yeah, I remember the Poltergeist, and I don't know too much about The Exorcist. You said several actors passed. Was it after the filming? You know, because some people say that's just a coincidence, you know. But so it's some weird stuff. But yeah, it was Deliverance. SJ, I'm glad you, because I couldn't think of that movie to save my life, because I started to look at it. I looked through some of it, but it wasn't that good to me. I stopped looking at it. I said, well, maybe I should go back and finish it and see if it was any good. But yeah, it's just a lot going on. So the title of my live and what I talked about today is Demonic People Do Demonic Things. We first went on, if you were here earlier, we talked a little bit about what goes on in the music industry. And like I said, everybody that goes into the music industry in Hollywood, their goal is not to be demonic or do evil things. Their goal for the most part, for most people, oh, Rosemary Baby, yeah, I remember that one. Is to take care of themselves and their families and get out of the poverty situation that they're in. Nobody, I don't think, sets out to want to be evil for the most part. I do believe there is some people that do start out good and they want to live up. They cannot, I would say they don't want their lifestyle to be taken away from them. So, okay. So the first time me hearing that little girl died, okay, so it must not. She must have died after the movie. I don't know if she died during the filming of Poltergeist. I'm not for sure. You said during the making on the set. Wow, during the making on the set. CX, I'm gonna have to research. Now you done got my wheels turning. I'm gonna have to research that. But that's what Craig Lewis said. Also, another guy that I like back. I started watching him in 2013. His name was Stephen Darby. Boy, him and Craig Lewis, they break this stuff down where anybody can understand. And they also have research and facts to what they're talking about. They don't just be saying stuff out of, out of their side of their neck. They really, really do a lot of research. I went to one event where G. Craig Lewis was speaking. It was years ago. I'm gonna say maybe 20 years ago. He was breaking down. That's when he started doing the truth behind hip hop, and he was explaining all of the sacrificial things that some people have to do. And like I said, sometimes it's not always unaliving somebody. Sometimes it's sacrificing your morals, your standards. You know what I'm saying? Who you really were before that. If you notice, most of these people that come on the scene, they come out so innocent, so naive, so just happy, and then they be in like the industry for maybe about a year, and they start changing. Their whole demeanor changed, their wardrobe changed, they style, it just everything changed about them, how they present themselves. Like Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber, when he first came out, he was a happy little white kid, right? They could, hold a note. Then all of a sudden, after he got, with Diddy and just being in the music industry, that boy looked like he fighting for his life. I mean, he really looks like a total different person. Even what is that other Doja Cat? I used to love Doja Cat. I'm not gonna lie to you. When Doja Cat came out, she was curvy, sexy. She was a lot of just fun and just everything. And then once she, like over time, she was doing like looking weird, shaving off her head, shaving off her hair. She lost a lot of weight. She was just looking crazy at one point. So I don't know if that's a humiliation ritual or what. But a lot of these artists go through a lot of extraneous things just to prove their allegiance or prove their commitment to the record label. I don't know, or commitment to the contract that they signed. So I don't know what it is, but not everybody starts out demonic. Some people gradually grow into a monster, and not just in the music industry, even in real life, everyday life people, the average person. Evil doesn't always just there. Sometimes people gradually grow into being evil, and evil can sneak up on people so fast they don't even know that they're really being evil. Yeah, that's kind of what I see. You said Doja is completely demonic now. Ice Spice too. Yeah, Doja Cat did a video, and one of her songs is Demons or something like that, and she's on there looking like a demon. She looks really crazy, grotesque. I'm like, Lord have mercy. What is hip hop? What has hip hop came? What's going on? Well, this is back in my older sister's time when Queen Latifah, MC Light, Salt and Pepper, those, when those ladies came out, Roxanne, that's when my older sisters, were playing that when they were around that time. Then gradually in our time, it was Lil' Kim. That's when, she started talking about, more sex and, looking sexy and stuff. And then after Lil' Kim and Foxy Brown, I'm trying to think of some other people. And then after, like, kind of like in my generations, millennials, is Nicki Minaj, and who else came out? Nicki Minaj. Y'all help me out here. See who was out around Nicki Minaj when Nicki Minaj first came out. I think Lil' Kim was still doing her thing. Foxy Brown kind of slacked up, but anyway, it just went more sexualized after a certain amount of time. Where before, the women that was in hip hop before, they may have talked about sex every now and then, yo and all that. But they were kind of clean to me, clean rappers, Queen Latifah, UNITY, and all. So they were more like, women empowerment. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, Trina. I forgot about. How can I forget about Trina? So Yeah, so I believe with the women it became and men overly sexualized, and of course some of the men now, which is if that's who they are, that's just who they are. Some of them are homosexuals and they have beards as if they are straight men, but they're really not. So it's a lot of capping in the industry in this day. Oh yeah, I forgot about Mia X. Mia X, yeah. So it's a lot of different things that have gone on in the industry. The Brat, yes, right. I used to love the Brat. And I for the longest, I said, well, she's just a pretty tomboy, but then she came out. Because didn't she go with Allen Iverson? She was with Allen Iverson for a while. And then after that, I was hearing that she was, I said Foxy Brown. I was hearing that she was with the lady that she's married to now. But anyway, guys, like I said, people boss. Okay. People don't start out evil. Some people don't start out evil. I think sometimes people gradually go into it if they don't catch it. And it's all in us to be good or bad. It's about what you let take over you the most. So you guys be blessed. I'm finna go out here and enjoy my Saturday going out. So I hope that you guys have a great Saturday. If you don't just get out, but maybe about an hour or so, just get out and get in some sun and go exercise, do something. Like I said, I'm about to be out and about, but I just wanted to bring this to you guys, and hopefully you guys got something from it. Sorry, I don't know what happened to my volume where it went mute. That was pretty strange. Maybe YouTube did that. I'm not sure. But I know on my end, everything was up. So I'm a little confused by it. But anyway, does anybody would like to come up before I step down and exit stage left and enjoy my Saturday? I'm gonna give you 10 seconds, and then I'm finna exit stage left. Thank you so much, guys, for coming through. And again, if I can't say it more than enough, I want every father that is a supporter of my page. I really hope that you have a great Father's Day. Thank you for being a good father and taking care of your responsibilities, taking care of your children, and being the best father you can be. And shout out to you guys, because it's just it's not a lot of people, especially in media, don't advertise or commercialize Father's Day for some reason. It's all about Mother's Day. But if you don't have a good father, that is an unfortunate situation. Or a father at all. It's a very unfortunate situation. I think children need their mother or their and their father. That makes children sometimes a little bit more well balanced. And a father is so important on how and what they do, and they really, I would say, set their child for either for success or failure. And how they treat their fathers and stuff. I mean, how their fathers treat their children. So shout out to you fathers that actually do the work, that work 2 jobs, and that support and supply for your household. Shout out to you guys for that. And I hope y'all have a great day. I hope y'all show some love. Y'all love your children, your wife, or your significant other. Show you some love. Bless you with some Reese's Kisses and some money, or maybe just a relaxation day where you don't have to worry about daddy. So hopefully they can give you a break tomorrow, or fix you some collard greens, neck bones, some whatever you like. I hope that you are blessed with that tomorrow, guys. You have a wonderful, wonderful Father's Day, and everybody else, all the women, I hope you have a wonderful day as well. Love y'all to Reese's Pieces. Bye.
Salina. It's about Oak Cliff girl, claim that you changed my world. Damn, you're so fine, girl. Oak Cliff girl, put them wheels on and rule my
Welcome to
world.
Selena's Couch, where you are welcome to be free to be yourself. So you can lay your head on my couch, on my pillows.
It's all good, we can do whatever we wanna do now. I'm in my bag right now, and I got a feeling, babe, yeah. You're gonna be my number one lover. Spend the night making love to each other, with the lights on top of the covers, just me and you, babe. And I feel like you're my
Love you to Reese's Pieces.
Get you a word. Nana nana boo boo.